Since this is beginning and I want to start off small, welcome to flying class. Athletes, talent, and is it really important to be good at something? So, this is my class about really how this works. A flying class would be more of like a let's learn how to, like a gym class. And I was never really good at gym. I was always that kid who got hit in the face with the basketball and broke my glasses, who was really good at like track. I was a track star, not really. And so I really wanted to talk about today is just that is it important to be good at, something specifically athletic, physically good at something, or is it really just about being yourself and talent? And probably by the way I'm talking about it, you can probably guess that I lean towards more about having a good head on your shoulders than specifically being good at something physically. But that just might be the way that I was raised and maybe the way that I live my life. So it might not necessarily apply to everybody else, but I think that people who strive to be the best at one thing, awesome. I strive to be the best ever all the time, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I get there every time. And so I just kind of want to talk about, like, I had a lot of friends in elementary school, not really in high school because I was more of a choir theater geek, but yeah, I was in choir. And if you know anything about choir, you're going to know that it is not one of those things that you need to be physically in shape for. It's not one of those things that you need to run every day for. You have to learn how to read music and work with other people. It's actually really good for like social skills, but it's not exactly exemplar and it's not high up on the food chain at high school. But I was basically chairman of choir. I suppose for a couple of years I set it up and took it down most days, and I loved that. And I was good at it, so I enjoyed it. But then you'd put me in a fitness class or a gym class, and I can't. I just can't. And a lot of my friends in elementary school could, and that's probably why we didn't hang out in high school. I think I should make a whole video about cliques, but I think it's silly. But being athletic is awesome. It's really healthy for your body. It's good for team building. But there really isn't any difference other than the bodily aspect than choir. We're learning how to make a commitment and organize yourselves properly and work as a team and learn something, do something together. We did competitions. We had to work towards a goal. We had to work towards to get better. And so what I guess I'm trying to say is that today in your flying lesson, you're learning that same things you could learn in a flying lesson, you could learn at another lesson. You could learn at a theater rehearsal, which I do know for a fact is true because I used to run theater rehearsals for a whole bunch of different things. When I was in high school, I used to run drama club, I used to run improv club a bit. I used to run this festival, this drama competition that we used to do at our school. I used to run one for my university, rehearsals for my university 2 years now. And so it's a lot of organization, it's a lot of time management, it's a commitment. And that's what a sports team is. You're just not really based on your physical judgment, your physical appearance, not really your appearance, but your physicality, how good you can use your body. It's more like in theater or in a writing club or debate team or even something is like the robotics club, the robotics car club. If you have one of those to your school, you're not necessarily doing the best that your body can do, but you're almost doing the best that your mind can do. And it's almost it's like those mind games. You can get that app. I don't have an iPod or anything like that, so I don't know. But you can get an app that's like tune your mind so that when you get older, you can still keep up your mental capacity. It's like that. Just in high school, you used it at different rates for different clubs. I found, and even now going into university, I find that I constantly work on my academic work. I constantly work on how I write papers. I constantly work on how I work with people in my practicals. It's like constantly doing the same thing, and I find that I really should be working on that physical aspect even, or the time management aspect, just a little bit more of a balance, and you don't get that as much if you're not focusing on it. So my homework for you for this flying lesson is to look at your life. A lot of this homework is just looking at your life, which it shouldn't be that hard. Look at your life. See the things that you are good at. and that you enjoy doing. That's another thing that you enjoy doing. And look at those things and see if those things are balanced in your life. So, are you working on one thing that is physically appealing and then good for your body, physically appealing, and then like 5 things that are good for your mind or good for other things? And should you balance it out, or are you happy with that unevenness? I'm just making really awesome, really awesome hand movements here. Anyways, flying lessons. Just kidding. Um, so if you're really interested in looking at that part of your life and changing, I guess, that part of your life into looking at it in a different perspective, that's what I suggest, is to look at it as you're not exactly neglecting the physical aspects to your life, you're just changing something else. Awesome. Take care.